sport.
Team New Zealand skipper is warning it will take more than just straight out boat speed to win next year's America's Cup. Peter Burling says tactical decisions will be vital on the Hauraki Gulf, especially against the best sailors in the world. Tom McRae has more.
Ben, Pete, Max and Terry. Get used to this lineup. The America's Cup skippers will be front and centre all summer.
Pressure, well, we're all under pressure. Certainly we're all under pressure at time.
But none more so than Sir Ben Ainslie. Ineos Team UK have struggled during the past week of practice, only making the start line once.
I think it's pretty clear for everyone to see we're struggling a little bit in the lighter airs, taking off, and some of the manoeuvres.
No such issue for Team New Zealand, who have looked the most impressive team early on, apart from losing to American Magic in the last practice yesterday.
All the way through it, you're going to see a fight.
Unlike the challengers, Team New Zealand have only 4 days of racing to get up to speed. After that, they will only be able to train on their own until the America's Cup itself in March. How much more importance is there for you guys over the next 4 days?
Yeah, well, definitely there's the obvious thing that as a defender this time around, you don't get as much racing as the challengers, but it's been something that we've really tried to make the most of.
But local knowledge of the unique wind shifts and the tricky tides will be vital.
This tide smashes into the features of the seafloor, creating challenging conditions.
Unlike previous America's Cups, this will be proper match racing, not just a drag race. Getting quickly onto the foils and staying there throughout will be the difference between winning and losing.
The more high performance the boat, the more the tactical decisions get, either amplified or so if you make one, very wrong, you lose a whole heap of time.
This time tomorrow, the talking will finally be done and someone will have early bragging rights on the water. Tom McRae, News Hub.
The America's Cup teams will line up for their first competitive races today with the start of the World Series Regatta in Auckland. The boats will use a virtual digital diamond to help keep them within the course boundaries. Team New Zealand skipper Peter Burling says they will also help the boats from colliding.
I think the really good thing with the virtual boundary around the boats is it does encourage people to keep that little bit further apart. Obviously, no one really wants to see these boats crashing into each other, so it's kind of the end goal.
And TVNZ1 will have today's 4 scheduled races live with coverage starting at 2 p.m.
Getting vaccinated.
To sport, and today's finally the day. Team New Zealand and the America's Cup challengers will line up for official races, with the World Series Regatta getting underway this afternoon. Victor Waters is at the race village on the Auckland Viaduct. And Victor, the race course finalised for today.
Afternoon, Chris. Yes, that's right. Course C has been picked for today's opening races. It's right in the heart of the Waitemata Harbour between Maunga Ika North Head and Bastion Point. Southwesterly winds are expected today between 15 and 16 knots, ahead of when Team New Zealand get things underway against Italians Luna Rossa. They later face American Magic, who will look to build on their impressive performances during the practice sessions earlier last week. Let's see if former skipper Dean Barker can get the better of Team New Zealand later today. That race against Luna Rossa, the first one up, is 3:12 later this afternoon. Remember, if you're watching from the water, to please keep your distance and follow all instructions from race officials. If you're watching from home, coverage starts on TVNZ1 from 2 o'clock later this afternoon.
Looking forward to a big afternoon of racing. Thanks. Victor Waters live for us at the Auckland Viaduct. Well, Liverpool